Hey, Dennis.
Greetings, Chris, from Naples, Florida at the Botanical Garden, here with Jordan Paris.
Hey, Jordan Paris. Hey, thank you, Dennis, for joining us. All of our folks in real estate, they're in a bit of a crisis mode right now because, Facebook has been making changes to what we're allowed to do to target our real estate advertisements. They no longer are going to allow us to target a specific zip code. They're not going to let us target a particular age range, which in real estate, that can affect us a great deal, especially if you are marketing to a specific neighborhood or if you are marketing to a niche. So I wanted to get your take on it, since you're the Facebook expert, on what your thoughts are on some of these things, these changes that are taking place.
For the people that are doing it well, there's nothing to be afraid of. The reason Facebook came out with these changes, which affect real estate agents, employers, people that do any kind of rentals, is because of discrimination in the United States. So if you're targeting properly, you actually want to target the entire region. And you might think, yeah, but then Facebook's going to target this against 13-year-old girls or against people that are not interested or who are not interested in luxury, homes or what have you. It doesn't matter, because when you set the right objective, so let's say your objective is leads or calls or landing page views, the algorithm knows who is converting and will automatically select for the other people that are like that. And what happens with most people that are new to Facebook ads is they start creating lots and lots of different targets. And each ad, they might put $10 against each one, and the algorithm doesn't have enough room to be able to optimize. I was working on someone's ad account yesterday, and they had tons and tons of custom audiences, for example. A 1-day, 7-day, 28-day. They had a 1% lookalike, a 3% minus a 1% lookalike, a 5 minus a 3 nested audience. And they were proud of how sophisticated they were. And we literally made a change where we said, you know what, we're going to run against the entire region. And their conversions went straight up. And we've done time and time again. The algorithm has gotten so smart that if you create good content, it will naturally select the people that are more likely to become leads. One of our clients, for example, is the United States Concealed Carry Association. We spend almost $10 million a year on Facebook ads for them. It's for people that have guns. And it was the same thing. We were trying to target those people that were conservative, that were 40-year-old males plus, but then we just opened it up to everyone in the United States. But then you might think, well, that might target people like Jordan. He's 21. He may or may not have a gun, right? Might not be interested. But if you have the right topic, then the algorithm is going, look, because there's so much competition, the algorithm looks at who's liking, commenting, and sharing. And it's going to find more people that are like that. In a few days, you're going to see Facebook break out relevance score into 3 components: on engagement, on quality, and conversion. And those are the things they're looking at to decide who to serve to. So from a mechanical standpoint, Chris, and everyone else who's a real estate agent and thinking that this thing is going to affect you, when you set a targeting, any kind of targeting, let's say everyone in Austin, right, which is a big metro, goes all the way up to maybe Round Rock, down to the airport, all around. Facebook is not going to target everyone in that area. It's not going to randomly select anyone that lives inside that population. So let's say you have a lead ad, you have some kind of, figure out what your home's worth guide, put in your email address. It's going to look at who's already becoming a lead and then find other people that are like that. And so within the prescribed area, within that geo, they're naturally going to find the particular zip codes, or maybe for some reason, because of the nature of who you are in your network, you have more like 50-year-old women, for example, that you talk to. I'm just making something up. The algorithm naturally knows that. For USCCA, the gun people, we're 90% male, 40 plus. We didn't have to ever specify the demographic targeting. And by trying to over-specify, we're actually hurting ourselves. So if you're a real estate agent and you have one office and one location, the odds are that if you just simplify your targeting to just Austin or just, well, I guess LA is like a big metro, but just the local region, anything else that are discriminatory variables, part of the reason Facebook got in trouble was that you could target people, you could exclude people who are black, right, from renting from you. But you would never include or exclude those targets anyway, because Facebook will naturally find the people that, let's say that you you rent housing in a Jewish community. You don't have to specify Jewish, because if you put out videos of other folks that are in that community, it's going to naturally sub-target to what you want. You don't need to worry about redlining. You know, redlining is, of course, illegal. So some people will try to do a modified version of redlining, you know, which is like zip code targeting, by saying, well, like what you could do, for example, I don't recommend it, is say, well, if I want to target black people, but that's taken away, I would just target all the things that black people like, right? Or if I want to target in any community, I would target all the stuff with Bollywood, right? All the major actors, which would sub-target to that. You don't need to do that. Because Facebook, if you put good 1-minute videos out there, Facebook's going to naturally find who likes that. So if I make a 1-minute video here with Jordan, and we're here in the botanical gardens, and I'm talking about how awesome nature is over here, I don't need to target people that are interested in flowers and botany and the outdoors and bird watching. I don't, because the nature of who's going to engage with this video is such that that engagement will then drive secondary targeting. So if you create stuff out there that doesn't get engagement, then Facebook doesn't have a signal to be able to figure out what's working. And if you're not getting 50 conversions per ad set per week, with or without campaign budget optimization, you're not giving the system enough data to optimize. So fewer campaigns. If you're not spending, say, more than a couple $1,000s a month, you probably should have only 1 or 2 campaigns, right? Because you know, at the structure for Facebook ads, which is the same as Google, is you have a 3-tier system, right? You have the campaign, the ad set, ad group, and you have the ad. And the reason why you have that middle layer is the pairing of combinations of content and targeting, right? If you don't have enough money to be able to get enough data to power multiple ad sets, you probably should just have 1 or 2. Part of the reason people are moving to campaign budget optimization, which is going to be required later this fall, is to collapse that layer down to say, look, you don't even have to worry about targeting, because if you pump in custom audiences, Facebook's going to automatically sub-target for you. You see, if you don't have to, the reason you don't have to specify targeting is that Facebook is going to automatically select with, it's not going to be, you know, like all the people in Orange County. They're going to, whatever targeting you select basically draws a circle around where they can go fishing. But the system is so smart in doing the fishing for you, you don't, like, anything you try to do to meddle with the system is going to screw the system up and is going to screw your results up. I can tell in 10 seconds when someone's a beginner, because they've made too many campaigns, they have too many targets, they've tried to over-specify instead of getting out of the way and letting the algorithm do the work. So everything that you see that's happening with Facebook, with the changes that they're making, such as removing a lot of the very specific job title targets, removing, you know, things that could be discriminatory, making it so that it will automatically optimize your budget, right, by aggregating between the different ad sets. Like, all these things are trying to, it's not because Facebook's trying to take away different options from us, it's because they're trying to help us not do the dumb things. Like, Facebook wants to help us drive more leads and sales.
So what I hear you saying is to focus on the quality of the content, make sure that our messages are for the people that we want to attract, if it's, you know, in a particular area or if it's within a specific niche. If I'm working, for example, with baby boomers who are downsizing, that's what my 1-minute videos should be about. That's what my content should be about. And then the algorithm will do the work. I don't need to worry about trying to specify, oh, I'm looking for, you know, people who are between this age range in this specific area, who might be interested in certain interests that will indicate that they might be looking to downsize. Is that if I put the content out there, the algorithm's going to take care of it.
Yeah.
That makes life a whole lot easier, you know.
It's like people think it's all about the tools and it's the targeting and Facebook's killing my organic reach and all that kind of stuff. Not true at all. I was in San Diego 3 weeks ago and I took a video of myself on a mechanical bull, right? And that thing got 60,000 views. So absolutely, these things still work. And the reason why that got so many views is because there are like 300 people that commented on it. So I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize, Dennis, you have the skills and, you know, to ride a mechanical bull. But so for all the agents that are out there where you know about selling and you're talking about your experience and all the things that you might do to sell, if we go back to what we talked about in our webinar last time, where we have a 3-stage funnel from awareness to consideration to conversion, then your targeting is already set for you, because anyone who engages with you in the awareness stage, because they know that you are from Fort Myers and you're a 21-year-old and you've got a book out and you have almost 100 podcast interviews. They know if they've consumed any of that content about who you are, about your why, about what's important to you, then you're going to remarket off of a 10-second view to the next piece, which is your how, which is your sharing expertise, right? And if they engage with you on your expertise, then you've earned the right to be able to sell them, to be able to tell them about the listings that you have, to tell them about your experience, to be able to tell them about how you remodel homes, or what parts of the neighborhoods are like what, or anything where you're talking about your business, because people buy from people. So when you don't need to target. When you go to a cocktail party, you don't do targeting. You just meet people, right? And people get to know who you are. So your targeting is actually driven not by what's called core targeting. Facebook's core targeting is when you specify targeting because of age, sex, locations, interests, marital status, which are, these things are obviously illegal in certain areas to target on. It's not because of that. It's because if you can get someone to stay with you for 10 or 15 seconds in a video because you told a story, because you shared expertise, then you've earned the right to be able to remarket. That's the key here that people are missing. If I can get your attention for 15 seconds. A couple days ago, I asked Grant Cardone, hey, why don't we teach everybody how do you make a 1-minute video? And so he made a series of 1-minute videos for me, telling the audience, here's how you reset people's attention. You move around, you point at other people, you get really close in the camera like this, all these other ways and hit the average watch time on his videos close to a minute. The average on Facebook, 6 seconds, right? So we're building remarketing audiences off of what Uncle G's been teaching people, right? So that's what you got to focus on, because when you can get people to stay with you for 10 seconds, you can use Facebook remarketing to sequence the next message. And then from that message to the next message, right? That's the targeting. The best form of targeting is retargeting. Retargeting is they come to your website and they stayed there for whatever. They looked at the page. You want to get them back. Focus on the retargeting. Don't focus on the fact that you lost the ability to target by age, sex, location, political interest, religion, race. Like that doesn't matter, right? Because I doubt that you're going to be making content around those topics anyway.
Right. So by putting that information, Facebook's finding the people with a preference for your message. That's what the algorithm is designed to do, is to pair up this content with the person with a preference to hear, learn, or get interested in it. And then through the targeting through those different phases or through retargeting through those different phases, you've already gotten their attention, so their care. Now you're building that trust, which in real estate, it's all about knowing, liking, and trusting. So if we can get them to trust us through the process, then that's how we generate the lead.
Yeah, you want to generate a lead? Make a 1-minute vertical video. So what you do, you pull out your phone like this. This is an iPhone XS, and you make a vertical video. And it could be like this. I say, hey, here's me and Jordan, and we want to talk about whatever we're talking about, right? And then I'll move it to him. I'll move it back to me. We'll go back and forth, right? And that 1-minute video is how you're able to build know, like, and trust. Because then you get people to stay for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Don't use the stock art. Don't use the things that are obviously commercials. I mean, you can use your drone footage and other things, for luxury real estate, but literally showing people who you are, targeting everyone in your community is what's going to work, because Facebook's going to do that work for you. Therefore, the work that you focus on is making killer 1-minute videos with other people. Like we talked last time, if you want to build a reputation where people come to you because they want to sell their house, then go to your favorite restaurant and say, hey, I'm here with so-and-so who runs this Italian restaurant. And tell me about how long you've been in business and what's your favorite dish and, what did your family do? Like all these different kinds of things, right? And when you do that, then people will stop you when you're at Whole Foods.
I love Whole Foods.
Yeah, I love Whole Foods. It's owned by Amazon now. Now, people will reach out via email or via Twitter, or they'll see you in person. You'll get more referrals because people see you. That's the thing that people keep missing. They're so afraid to pull out their phone and make their 1-minute video. Get the new iPhone XS. Don't use the old one. It's worth it. It's a business investment, right?
Tax write-off.
That's literally what we do. We have tons of agents and mortgage brokers and insurance agents that we've taught them how to make 1-minute selfie videos like this. Just saying like, hey, I'm at the Botanical Gardens and my favorite area is this part here. And look at the water in the background over there, right? and there's some motion. That's what you need to focus on. And if you upload these 1-minute videos and then you remarket to people who have watched 10 seconds or more, then you will generate leads. Because if someone has watched your stuff, watched 3 or 4 of your videos, 10 seconds plus each, don't you think they're going to remember when it's time to buy or sell a home? Don't you think when they have a question about, you know, how much home can I afford? Or can I really, you know, should I be moving now? Or interest rates going up? Or they're going to come to you, right? Then when they go into Google and they type in real estate agent and they see your ad pop up, they're going to click on you versus the 5 or 6 other guys or however many guys that are there, right?
Yeah, and I can totally testify to that, because for our real estate practice, we do that. We create lots of video, we retarget on our video, and the number one thing that we hear whenever we work with somebody is, you know, I feel like I know you guys already. I've been watching all your videos online, and that is such a huge. And when that happens, we're the experts in their mind already. Like, they feel like they know us, they like us, they trust us. We don't have to negotiate over our commission or our fees. We don't have to negotiate with them on what the price of their home is, because they trust us to make the best decision for them. So this is awesome. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time. I know you guys are out there for a walk with Tunnel Gardens, but this is going to be really helpful for a lot of real estate professionals, because if we can just really focus on the one thing that's most important, is producing that information, those 1-minute videos that are quality in and of themselves, that speak to the audience, that will get people to know, like us, and trust us, then the algorithm's going to take care of the rest of the work.
Awesome, Chris. Let me ask you one last question.
Yeah.
Just to score the point. How many touches does it take to generate a sale? How many times does someone have to see you before they become a lead and before it generates a closed home?
You know, I've never actually I've never had the ability to look at like exactly how many touches take place. I imagine it's got to be a dozen or so, if not more.
A dozen or so. So if that's the case, why are most agents out there trying to sell off of a first touch? If you know it takes a dozen, then you, just like in any kind of relationship, right? A personal friend or a business colleague or, you know, a spouse or whatever, it's going to take multiple touches. So if you literally make 1-minute videos about the things that you care about, you know, with the people that you like, I think that is 80 or 90% of the time, because people do business with other people, like you said, that they know, like, and trust. And we literally, when you put yourself out there, even if your makeup isn't done right, even if, you know, whatever excuse you have for not doing, and now it's hot outside, we're in Florida, right? But we're making 1-minute videos out here. I think here's the message. If you can do that, forget about the targeting, forget about the fact that the price of traffic on Facebook's going up, forget about all the different changes that are occurring in the platform. If you literally build 1-minute videos so that people get to know who you are, maybe know about your family, depending on how private you are, knowing the things that you like, knowing, you know, the knowledge that you have, everything will happen for you. And it won't happen on Facebook. It'll happen in all the other channels. Your Google ads will do better. Your email systems will do better. You'll get more referrals. And they may or may not say it's because they saw you on Facebook, right? Facebook is a utility that everyone loves to hate, because you have to be there. You can't not be there, right? Even for Instagram, right? The people under 30 that are on Instagram, that's Facebook too, right? So I just leave you with that. You got to build 12 touches. Do you have enough content to be able to build 12 different touches with other people in your community? Because different content that you have will resonate with different people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. And
thank you, Chris.
we'll be doing our 1-minute videos for sure for the folks at the Paperless Agents community. So we'll continue to do them just like you told us. Thanks.
You rock, friends.